What's up guys, it's Melon here. This time we're bringing you the latest unit review, Senya. So we're gonna just do our brief scenario of what we think she's good for, what she could be played with, our first impression, and that's all. Alright, so just first let's get into her S3. These Venjo voices.
I can hear them. Vengeful voices.
Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool.
My spirit.
Nothing insane though. Honestly guys, I expected a little more, but we're just getting another dragon waifu. Some of you guys may love this, some of you guys may actually insanely just like waifu top tier her. But I think this is just like another repeat of like Luna, Yuffie, and just another Dragon Knight, right? We have so many already. Spalgate just kinda pushing it too much maybe. Oh, that's just my opinion, right? Everybody has his opinion on their favorite unit. Okay, so let's check her S2. Oh actually, sorry, let's check her basic stat lines. So, something to note here guys, she has insanely high attack. 1445 is extremely high for like a knight. 6329 HP, solid. 645 defense, solid, right? Those are high base stats for like defense and HP. Her speed is quite low at only 100, so there's nothing effect in like ER, right? So you just tell that she's a straight out knight. Or extremely high attack, but there's a reasoning for this. HP increase, imprint release, and imprint concentration of attack. There's also a reason for attack imprint as well. We'll get into it over S2. Let me just go to it real quick. Okay, so just go introduction. For S2, Indomitable Spirit. The caster cannot trigger critical hit, but attack increases by 30%. So her base attack is actually 1100, and this increases it into 1445, right? Around that stat line. So the caster cannot trigger a critical hit, but attack is increased by 30%, and critical hit resist increased by 35%. After mulling this, scaling this up, it's 50%. So critical hit resist maximum is 50%. When attacked, if the caster suffers a non-critical hit, deals damage to attacker proportional to the caster's attack before activating Grace of Battlefield. Grace of Battlefield can only be activated once every 2 turns. So Grace of Battlefield grants a random buff to all allies for 1 turn. The buff includes attack increase, effectiveness, increased defense, continuous healing, and debuff immunity. I'm pretty sure how this is applied is the counter is not her attacking, but it's kind of like a reflect, right? So when the caster suffers a non-critical hit, damage is dealt to the attacker proportional to the caster's attack. This is kind of like a reflect mechanic, I'm pretty sure. So let's say your ally Crow hits non-critical hit, they're gonna take back damage corresponding to the caster's attack, right? Okay, so following that, the Grace of the Battlefield. This is quite situational. So there's some buffs that just aren't bad, some are questionable, and some are just kinda good. So the bad ones could be just effectiveness. That's straight up bad. Another one is this is kind of variable, right? Because usually this is going to be proccing turn 1, right? When your team already has immunity. So the debuff immunity one is kind of questionable. Maybe for the long game it could be nice. But turn 1, let's say you already had immunity buff, right? You already have a 1-turn immunity buff. Imagine getting another one, right? How fat would that? Like, what's the point of this? Like, if you get effectiveness and immunity on some of your units, you already had immunity on some doesn't even need effectiveness. So this just feels bad when you get some of these buffs, right? Increased attack. Imagine you got that on a Soul Weaver or on your tank. Like, it's good on Senya, don't get me wrong. Increased attack means she does more damage her S1. She's already high base attack, right? And the counter, she does more S1 damage. So let's say that's fine. S2 is increased 2 of attack, but maybe not all your units need attack, right? Because when you think about it, you're not gonna really draft her in an aggressive comp that needs attack buff, right? You're not gonna be drafting, let's say, someone who's like, let's say LQC with her really that often, right? Because this is more of a defensive unit, more for anti-aggro, more instead of aggro. Continuous healing is cool. You're gonna heal like 3k HP when you get your turn, and increased defense is maybe the most impactful one. Imagine a scenario where you bring Senya and that team goes like a General Purger's meta team, right? You bring General Purger, just like RB, just a bunch of DPS, LR Crow or whatever, and you get defense buff, and then it's just nice to have for turn 1, right? It's really just you take less damage. Continuous healing means you heal some back up. Debuff immunity, you might already have that, but for a long game it might be pretty cool. Effectiveness, attack, also depends on your team, right? might be hard to really fully like, utilize that one, right? Yeah, imagine increased effectiveness for your DN. Oh, manga. Something I'm curious about is I wonder if anti-crit on defense. So DN's anti-crit, right? Anti-crit buff. I wonder if it stacks with this passive. This is something we're gonna have to find out for the future. Pretty cool to look at though. So this might be some synergy you'll see in the future with the DN Senya. DN slowly come back to meta. Look forward to that. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our S3. So our S3 is Dragon Slayer's Strike. Strike all enemies with a spirit with a 75% chance to decrease hit chance for 2 turns. Adopts a countering attack stance for 2 turns. So at 100%, sorry, at fully mode, 100% decrease hit chance for 2 turns. And if you soul burn this, decrease cooldowns by 2 turns. This is kind of a Talon copy like. So when you soul burn your S3, you'll get it back in the next 2 turns, right? So soul burn S3, 2 turns cooldown, but the turn you just took means it's 1 turn next turn, and after that turn it'll be a cooldown, right? So that means you could permanently have your counter attack stacked up. It's pretty nice, but it's gonna be to use your souls on this is very questionable. Souls is already very like hard to come by, and like you gotta use it on like a lot of other units, right? So I don't know how importance of like Senya is gonna get for your soul managing. Cool unit. Let's say we don't really have a knight that does like counter attacking. Maybe Charles. That's why I'm thinking Albrus might be pretty nice on this unit, right? She has her own counter attack for herself. She doesn't need counter set. So if you have the Albrus, she's gonna be proccing a lot of S1, right? So the damage potential from her could be quite high. She doesn't need crit chance, so it's easier to build her. Just needs a bit of attack, right? So let's say the possible artifacts for Senya right now. It could be like Adamant. Holy Sacrifice is always nice for attack dealing knight. You could even do Symbol of Unity for if you're trying to push the damage a bit more. Albrus, I think Albrus might be super nice. I think that's what I'm leaning to right now. If I'm gonna build my Senya, I'll definitely lean to Albrus. Okay, so that's our S3. Now our S1 is a bit mediocre, right? Alright, let's go to our S1. S1, Spirit of Vengeance. Attacks the enemy with a spirit with a 65% chance to provoke for 1 turn. When it's not the caster's turn, increase chance by 25%. F mode, it's gonna be 75% chance to S1 to provoke. 75% chance to provoke on her S1, and 100% if it's countered or not on her turn, right? This is why I say Albrus might be kind of cool. She's really relying on the whole not attacking during her turn, so basically counter attacking. They're really trying to force this counter attack theory out. But guys, we kind of theory craft a bit on how good she would be in the meta, or like, okay, before you decide to pull, this is like our first impression, right? She's not really that great into a lot of units. You maybe find her decent into like SSB, other Crow, RB, like anti-aggro comps, right? Like anti-cleave comps. Teams that are really aggressive and you just need a kind of like an FMI replacement, right? You just do damage just by being there. But not a lot of teams, like, you can't really bring her into F-Tenebria so well. She doesn't really do well into Landy. Like the meta units right now, like she doesn't do well into Falconer Curried or Ras. It's just, or like GP in general, she doesn't do much against Soul Weavers. Blue Crow is just bad too. So in theory, guys, it's, if you're gonna pull her, yes, if you're a late game player, it's always nice to have the latest new units. It's always nice to have a large collection of units. Just increase your unit pool, right? Late game player, always never skip out, right? But if you're a mid game player and you're trying to save your bookmarks, guys, the limited banners are coming up. Keep this in mind. Limited bans are really soon. Collab is coming really soon. I think maybe wait a bit before really pulling the trigger on this one. If she's waifu, don't get me wrong, if she's waifu, always pull for waifu. But this one is quite questionable. I'm not sure if you guys really need this unit at the end of the day. Like, honestly guys, even for our artifact, let's look at artifact right now. Artifact is Spear of the New Dawn. After using a basic skill, has a 50% chance to inflict additional damage to the target's. Additional damage increased proportionally to the caster's attack. Max is 100% chance to proc, right? So this is basically a Rengar's Drink for your S1. And the damage ratio is 40% of your attack. So it's a bit higher than Drink. Not bad, but the fact that you have to max this to get this working, it's 70% defense pen, then it goes to 40% of your attack rate. It's nice on your Fire Charlotte and your Senya, but you're not going to use this on anyone else, guys. And if you really want to use this on your Fire Charlotte, you kind of want it at a high level or even max. So guys, if you really want to pull for this unit and this banner, I wouldn't recommend it. With so many things coming up, Smilegate gave us a month or 2 months of waiting to save our bookmarks. Maybe if you get lucky, sure, you get Senya really early. But if you're a new player, a new player would skip. I definitely would recommend new players to wait a bit. If anything, guys, at least wait till the last week of this banner before deciding for the new players. But the new players, there's not much reasons to pull this unit, right? You want to just get limited. You want to get units that are more meta defining, or just in general can help you through the story or like raids and stuff, right? This unit doesn't help you in PvE, probably doesn't help you in PvP arena, and it's kind of questionable for Guild Wars and like RTA, right? They may be niche units, niche purposes, but they're just not all around useful, right? So in general, guys, I think endgame players always pull. The middle tier players, I still wouldn't recommend it. You rather just save for the collabs and the limited right now, right? SSB is coming up. There's just so much things you rather just do, right? SSB is coming up. You gotta get the Rengar drinks, artifacts. You gotta get multiple copies just to imprint it, and the new collab, right? We don't know. We gotta speculate, guys. 1, 2, 3 units. I don't know how many are gonna come out, right? So in theory, guys, I don't think Senya is quite as strong. That's my first impression. Just off, first off, she's not out yet, guys. So our opinions might change. I might be wrong. You never know. But for now, how we see it, it doesn't seem that great, right? Once again, guys, we'll show your S3 animation again, and then you guys could just we could debate about it later on. This is just a first take.
I can hear them. These vengeful voices.
Hey guys, so this is Melon's first
My
impression.
spear will
Hope
not
you guys
die until
find
it
this
pierces the heart of
resourceful,
my enemy.
or just helps you like decide. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. I'll answer for you guys. I got you guys. No worries. I'll see you guys later.